Hello, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly UK. You're joining us on the final stage of WrestleMania week, WrestleMania 37 Night 2. And what a match card we've got here to go through. As always, before we start our predictions, I'll run through the match card. At number 1, we've got Riddle versus Sheamus for the United States title. Number 2, we've got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with Logan Paul in a singles match. Match number 3, we've got Big E versus Apollo Cruz for the Intercontinental title match. This match is a Nigerian drum fight. Number 4, we got The Fiend with Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton in the singles match. Number 5, we got Asuka versus Ray Ripley for the Raw Women's title. And most probably the main event of WrestleMania 37 will be Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan, the triple threat match for the Universal title. Let's start from match number 1. So we've got Riddle, US champion, versus Sheamus in a singles match. What's your thoughts on that?
It's a massive thrown together match for Mania.
That's exactly how that feels.
Just don't understand how we can see this on Mania thrown together so much and not like the other tag team titles match or DeAndre instead.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre thinking that, Riddle's had that title a little while now and they had nothing for him. Nothing at all. Or if this was their plan, they've gone a really bad way about pulling it together.
Yeah.
I think they could have done a bit better with this build. So the build has been very disappointing. But in terms of a match...
it's a good match to watch.
Yeah, in terms of a match, I think these two guys could deliver something. I mean, they both could put on, the hard-hitting type of match, the physical match.
Yeah.
Which would be a nice...
well, any Sheamus match is a physical match.
Yeah. And obviously we've seen Riddle do that in the past.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a nice change of pace from what we would have seen at night 1. Obviously, with the exception of maybe the Lashley-McIntyre match, there's not much sort of physical, hard-hitting matches going on. So,
no, the rest of the matches are very technically sound.
Yeah, so this will be a nice change of pace, I think. On paper, it should be an interesting match.
Yeah, I'm not fussed with the match. It's just that we were moaning about no build-up for certain matches.
Yeah, the build.
And we moaned about AJ Styles and almost get a tag team title match.
Yeah, the build.
But this is less build-up.
Very poor.
Yeah.
Because there's been no build, or hardly any build, it's very hard to predict where they're going with this. So we almost just need to call it based on what we know about the two guys.
Yeah.
Where are you going with this one?
I think Sheamus is getting like a pat on the back for him being in this match for obviously the feud with Drew, and I think Sheamus is going to win the title because of it.
That's not a bad way of looking at it, actually.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Could be a little reward, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. I mean, it's quite harsh on Sheamus, isn't it, to have the main event feud that he had, to lose that, and then to come into this feud, losing this as well would be quite harsh. So I think, I'll agree. I think maybe Sheamus walks out as the new US champion.
Yeah, I think it's a pat on the back reward.
Yeah, I think so. All right,
but we all know this is not the title he wants.
No, it's not. It's not the title he wants, but...
that would have been a better pat on the back, but someone doesn't want him to retire.
No, and he's on the wrong show, so as long as they keep him on the wrong show...
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll get there.
Yeah, he definitely will.
He'll definitely get it. All right, let's move on to the next match, which potentially, in my eyes, might be the match of the night, depending on how the main event goes.
I think this could be the match of the whole WrestleMania.
Yeah. This has potential, this one. We've seen it before, but obviously, every time we see it, it gets better and better. And that's
obviously, we haven't said what the match is. Well, it's obviously the Sami Zayn versus Kevin Steen match, yeah?
Yeah, so that's Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with Logan Paul.
So with this match, I think the match will be a great match as long as there's not too much interference with the special guest.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm reading here, it looks like Logan Paul is going to be in the corner of Sami Zayn and not much else.
Yeah.
If they keep it that way, I'm quite happy with that. I did have a feeling that they might have used him in another way, like a referee or enforcer or something. But if they keep him as more of a manager role, then I'm quite happy with that, because then it allows the two men to actually perform.
Yeah.
And we've seen this so many times. I've lost count how many times I've seen this match, and each time it just gets better, doesn't it?
It's one of those matches you can just keep seeing, but you still want to see more.
Yeah, as soon as this match was teased, I was very excited that we were going to see it again.
Yeah, definitely. I think this will be a very good match.
And the great thing about this match is, because of the way these two perform together and the way they work together, no one's going to come out looking bad.
No.
I mean, obviously, I know we've seen Kevin Owens come out of that feud with Roman, but the way they work together, he came out looking good, even though he lost the feud.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same here. Whoever loses won't come out looking bad. So recently, in recent weeks and months, we've seen Sami Zayn with this conspiracy theory, with this documentary. He's had a camera crew. Everyone's against Sami Zayn in his eyes. Could this be his time to right that wrong?
Well, he's got someone with him now, hasn't he? So not everybody's going to be against him anymore.
Yeah, he's got someone in his corner now who obviously will believe in him. So is this the moment that Sami Zayn is finally going to right those wrongs that he's...
But this could also be another conspiracy in Sami's eye. There's possibility that Logan Paul's going to turn on Sami and be with Kevin.
Of course, yeah.
Because Logan Paul is trying to be I know he's not a wrestler, but in the real world, he's trying to be a face character.
Yeah, of course. So we don't know.
So this whole conspiracy thing may go on after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're at the end of it yet.
No.
And if we're not at the end of it, for it to work properly, then I think Kevin Owens needs to win, so that Sami Zayn still has something to complain about.
Yeah,
so
I get that, but I've just got this feeling about Sami in this match.
So are you leaning more towards a Sami win?
I am, because if that conspiracy thing angle doesn't work out, I feel like it's going to be Sami's open eye, wake up moment with a conspiracy thing. Stop blaming it all on the conspiracy and just wrestle.
So we're split on this one. I think I'm going to go for KO and you're going to go for Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
All right, next we've got this. How do I introduce this one? We've got Big E versus Apollo Cruz in a Nigerian drum fight.
I don't know
the title.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
I don't think a lot of people know what that is, to be honest. What are you expecting from this match? Before we get to predictions, what do you expect?
It's going to be a good match if it was a match. I don't know what this match entails. Do they fight with drumsticks? I don't get it. Do they fight with drums attached to them? I don't get it.
I mean, I've got this thing. I've got this image in my head, and it's a bit out there. But if they did this right, it could be a very cool visual. I'm just imagining a whole bunch of guys, maybe surrounding the ring or surrounding the rampway or something, all with African drums, and kind of creating an atmosphere while this match is going on.
So it's like an Inferno match, but without the fire, and instead it's got drums.
I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Black Panther style type of fight.
That's a pretty cool idea.
That's kind of where my head's going. I may be completely wrong, but I think maybe having some sort of African drumming element, maybe outside the ring while these two guys having a fight inside the ring, it would definitely give an atmosphere to it.
I think it would be a good match anyway, no matter what, because the way the feud's going, obviously after the last pay-per-view, Apollo looked good with the attack, and I don't see Apollo losing this one.
Okay, so you're calling new champion?
I am.
Okay. I think, Nigerian drum fight aside, just looking at these two in a singles match, it's going to be great. Big E and Apollo Cruz can definitely work. It's great to see these two guys getting a match like this on a Mania card as well.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because for a long time we've been saying that these guys need a bit of the spotlight, and it looks like they're getting a bit of it now, which is great to see.
Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely nice.
So it does feel like it's the right time for Apollo Cruz to win. So I think maybe I'll agree. I think Apollo wins, comes out as new champion.
Fair enough.
Right, now we are on to the Fiend versus Randy Orton.
Are we going to see the Burnt Fiend or the Fiend?
Well, they've booked the Burnt Fiend, haven't they? But I do have a feeling that that's not entirely what's going to happen. And
elaborate.
So I don't know how it pans out, but I think over the course of the match at some point we get to see the other Fiend. Whether that be the whole lights go out, lights come back on, and the Fiend has changed, or, regenerated, or whatever word you'd like to use, or whether that be the use of two Fiends, in a kind of confusing type of moment where Randy doesn't know what's going on and there's two of them stood there. Because either way, they could make that work, because they could play this one off as being some sort of puppet, almost.
Yeah.
But then again, they could play off the idea that he could regenerate because he did die and Alexa did bring him back. So if she has that sign of power, what's to stop her from...
The thing is, with the last pay-per-view as well, the Fiend character obviously come back as a burnt gimmick, but he looked like he was being told what to do by Alexa, like the puppet, like you say.
Yeah, so there's elements to this match which I love the idea that they've gone down this road. The original Fiend didn't just come back; they've given us something different. So I don't see this Fiend staying for a long time. I think the other Fiend will come back, and if the other Fiend is going to come back, I think this is the time. Do it during this match, either in this match or at the end of this match.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the Fiend wins. The Fiend, in my eyes, has to win to end the feud.
Yeah.
I also think, like I've said, something's going on with the Fiend, and whatever happens, some sort of change, whatever happens is going to throw Randy off, and that's what's going to cost him.
I agree 100%.
So we're both going to go for Fiend. Fiend
Yeah.
wins. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the Raw Women's Title match. We've got Asuka versus Ray Ripley.
On paper, it looks good, but we all know she's only in the title picture because Charlotte's not there yet.
Yeah.
But maybe this is her WrestleMania redemption.
What I was hoping for, going back a few months, I was hoping that we might see a triple threat with Charlotte involved as well.
Well, you wanted to see Charlotte in a triple threat?
I thought that we were going to get a triple threat, and I was hoping that we might get all three of them in a match. But obviously, it then looked like we were going to get Asuka, Charlotte, and then they changed it. So I would have been quite happy with the triple threat because there's different layers of history there between the three of them. So I don't know if she's entirely there just because Charlotte isn't.
No, I'm not being that harsh. I'm just saying.
But it interests me how obviously last year she had her match at Mania, but she had the match with Charlotte defending the NXT Women's title.
Yeah.
She didn't actually have a call up at that point. She only got a call up recently.
Yeah.
And she's gone first night straight into the women's title picture, which I think is great.
And I think she's winning it as well.
I think that's a push, and I think for her to go straight into the picture that quickly, I think she has to win as well. So I'm also going to say Ray Ripley wins.
I'm with you on that one as well.
Champion. All right, main event time. We've got the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan for the Universal title.
It's the crazy gang.
This match, I've seen so many people in recent weeks hate on the idea that Daniel Bryan has been introduced to this match.
I don't understand that either, by the way.
And I don't understand it at all. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that Roman and Edge was some kind of dream match, and adding Bryan in takes away the dream match. It ruins it for them.
Whose dream match is that for?
I don't know, because I don't think it's a dream match, personally.
This is just WrestleMania 30 again.
But I think, my opinion on this, I think that adding Bryan into this match only makes this match better. Because
how can it not?
Edge and Roman Reigns, on paper, might be a decent match. But we've seen Edge wrestle recently, and he hasn't looked at the peak of his... He hasn't looked in top physical shape. Every time we've seen him, he's always looked like he's struggling a little bit.
He was just tired with a hurt.
So I feel like adding a third person in, even if it's not Daniel Bryan, adding a third person in gives him the opportunity to be able to take a rest while the two other guys continue the match.
So the match we just saw between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns is pretty solid.
Yeah, Roman and Bryan work so well together. They have done, every time I've seen them, they've worked really well together. So on that note, adding Bryan into the match is great, because if Edge needs to take a rest, these two guys are going to be able to carry the match and keep it exciting for the fans, and then Edge can come back into the match when he needs to. Also, we get the element of Roman and Edge, which for some people might be a dream match. Personally, I see Edge and Bryan as more of a dream match or an interesting type of matchup. So it gives you that element as well. It also allows Roman to lose without being pinned, which is something that could happen.
Yeah.
Roman could lose the title here without actually losing the match or without being pinned. So I'm not sure where this match goes.
I've got my prediction. I just think WrestleMania 30 was such a good hype and such a good pop. They might do it again.
Makes sense.
But it's kind of a different circumstance as this year. Like, Edge is still quite loved. But it's kind of funny how both men turned heel after the Royal Rumble wins in a build-up to the WrestleMania matches.
Yep.
That's what's crazy.
Yes, it's funny the parallels in the story. But this time people don't seem to want Bryan in the match, which just bewilders me. I don't understand it. As a huge Daniel Bryan fan, adding Bryan into this match makes this match better for me.
Oh, 100%. And I'm not a huge Daniel Bryan fan. I'm a fan. But in terms of wrestling match, surely you want to see someone that can wrestle.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with Daniel with this match. Screw it. Screw everybody. Daniel Bryan's going to win.
So this is where I'm tied. This is where I don't know where to predict. I would like Daniel Bryan to win. As a Bryan fan,
But you know Edge is going to win.
But I know Edge is going to win. And I don't want to say it because I don't want it to happen.
You just said it.
But it's going to happen, isn't it? I think Edge wins. As much as I don't want that, I do think Edge comes out with the title.
I'm sticking with Daniel.
It's almost like a redemption story, isn't it?
Redemption for what?
Well, forced into retirement. He's come back. Didn't lose.
He doesn't need to be redeemed. No.
I know, but on a personal level, he never lost that title, did he? He had to give it up. So.
What? So he's been champion for 11 years. We're just going to the actual story. He's still in the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, he's making records, that man.
Yeah.
No, I think Edge wins. As much as I don't want it, I think Edge wins.
I'm sticking with Daniel.
I really hope I'm wrong, and I hope that you're right.
I hope you're wrong. I need some wins.
Because I want Bryan to win. I'll be so happy if Bryan wins. I do think adding the triple threat element is a way for Roman to lose this match without coming out looking bad.
Yeah, I get that.
So I don't see Roman actually winning here. We
both don't see him winning.
Which is a shame because he's been doing excellent work.
Yeah, he's still going to be in the picture anyway after, isn't he?
For him not to win at Mania after the months and months that he's been, working at the level he's been working, is such a shame. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if he loses and then maybe switches brands.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Fair enough.
I mean, you've got Bobby and Drew over on the other show.
Yeah.
Roman shows up next week, straight into a feud with them. Could be interesting.
Let's see what happens with that.
Yeah, I see Roman doing something else after this. I think this is a way to take the title off Roman, but make him look strong at the same time. So I'm going for Edge. You're going for Daniel Bryan.
I'm sticking with Daniel.
Okay. So there we have it. That's all 6 matches from night 2. Do you agree with our predictions? Let us know in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win each of these matches? Who would you prefer to see win in that main event? Would you prefer to see Edge as new champion, or would you prefer to see Daniel Bryan? Or maybe you want Roman to keep the title? Let us know below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you stay up to date with all the content from us at Pro Wrestling Weekly UK.
Peace.